hips don't lie and they can get tight. Oh my gosh, all that sitting, oh, it affects your back, it affects your legs. It's in your hips. Let's work on those today, shall we? Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. It's a 1 hour long practice. An hour is a long time, but it goes by so fast. Trust me. Stick around as long as you can. Do what you can with what you got and have fun. Do what the bottom of the screen says. Do what's right for your body. Don't hurt. If something hurts, don't do it. Back out of it. We got some intense poses today. Pontoon pose, hero's pose. Great poses for your hip flexors. But if they don't hurt, don't do them. Modify them. I'll show you lots of modifications. During the little countdown timer, I showed you some ways to use your blocks and different modifications. We'll go over those again so you can do what is best for your one and only unique body. Just don't hurt yourself. Common sense, right? All right, so the word to think about today as you practice is the word accept. Just kind of accept things the way they are. They're fine just the way they are. I think sometimes we have too many harsh expectations about ourselves. To accept means to accept, to regard as true, as sound, as something you just believe is right. So let your poses work for you. Believe they're right. Accept what is. Don't sweat it, and just have a good time. All right. You're going to need some props today, some props. Your 2 yoga blocks, we always use those. Grab them at the store if you don't have them. An eye shade and a little hand towel, that is good too. And a strap. You might want to use your strap today. If you don't have the strap, you can use the towel. It can kind of do double duty as an eye shade or as the strap, the towel, that is. Okay, all right, that's it. We're live every single day on Facebook and YouTube. Join us. Tell your friends to join us and just have some fun. All right, let's start. We've got to start. Lock a stress number in. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you right now? What's your body feeling? What's tight? What's aching? All right, just give it a number. Assign it a number. Don't overthink it. We'll come back to it at the end and you'll figure out what I mean by locking in the stress number. Grab your 2 blocks. Let's start with those. We're going to come down to fully reclined. Here's the deal. You can take pontoon, start in those hips, or take pentacle. I'll show you pontoon first. Come on down. Fully recline. Bend your knees so you can pop your hips on up. Take your 2 blocks at a stable height, the lowest height. Slip the 2 blocks under your bottom and put your bottom firmly on the blocks. Really rest on the blocks. Don't think, oh, I gotta keep my weight off my blocks will crush. Your blocks are perfect. Send your legs long onto your mat. Oh, you feel it in the hip flexors. Arms can come up overhead, so your body's like in the letter shape of the letter Y. All right, breathe here. And if you don't like this under the hips, if it's too much, here's what you can do. Pop your hips on up. Bring your bottom on down. Pentacle pose. We do that often. Arms reach. Legs reach long. Create a capital letter X shape in your body. And another option, use of the blocks. If it doesn't feel good to reach your arms that high, kind of snow angel them down to where they feel comfortable. Or your blocks. Bring your blocks underneath the backs of your hands and get where you feel a little bit of a stretch. Not terribly much, we're just starting. All right, I'm going to go back to that pontoon pose because I really like this one. Legs are going to go long. Arms are going to go up overhead. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And just enjoy being here in this hour. I'm just here to hold the space for you. Come onto your mat and do what feels super good for you. I'm going to adjust my blocks. I'm going to bend my knees and slip the blocks on down a little bit farther. Adjust, readjust. That's life, right? Constantly readjusting. All right, what you want to feel here is a little bit of a stretch. Opening up, lengthening in your hip flexors. Shoulders are getting a nice little wake-up call too, because the arms are extended to whatever feels kind of nice for you to start out. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Just let everything go. This is your time. Your time on your mat. And really, stay in a pose as long as you like. And add in the poses that work for you when they work for you. Maybe you stay in this pontoon pose or your pentacle pose for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's all good. Breathe in, sigh it out. Eyes can be closed as you find peace in this present moment. If you like, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. How does that work for you? It's just an option. But this option, called Ujjayi Pranayama breath, lets you build heat in your body and focus inward. Breathe in. Breathe out. So yoga is not only the movements in your body, but it's just the resting of your spirit and the calming of your mind as well. You'll notice that when we take a stress number again at the end of the practice. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can stay here longer if you like, but I'm going to come into a Sukhasana pose to kind of open up the hips a little bit more. If you want to join me, bend your knees. Send your hips on up high to the sky. Pull the blocks out under from beneath you, but don't let them go too far. Roll your spine down slowly, taking your time, keeping your belly button tucked to your navel. Keeping your belly button tucked to your spine. And lower on down. Think of your tailbone. Bring the very tip of your spine down, all the way down to your mat. Send your legs long, make your way up to a seated position. Use your hands or don't. You decide. And let's come into Sukhasana. All right. Bend your knees, whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm going to bend both knees generously. I'm going to bring one foot. I'm going to start on my right side. I'm going to bring my right foot up on top of my left knee. If you want, bring your left foot up also onto your right knee. Settle in here, get comfortable in however you're seated. So take it as far as is right for you. A block can slip under that top knee. That makes a difference. It's kind of nice. Or you could use a half-size block. So you do what feels good for you. I'm going to put my blocks to my side. Place my hands on my knees. Take a deep breath in. Eyes closed. And a deep breath out. All right, I'll talk you through it so you can keep your eyes closed, because that's kind of nice to do too. Lift your arms up toward the sky. Think extended mountain arms. Reach your fingers up to the sky. Your gaze is forward or the eyes are softly closed. Lengthen up through your fingers. Breathe in. Breathe out. Settle into your hips as you exhale. And start to move one arm higher to the sky than the other. Bend one elbow, reach one arm up. Just little gentle stretches as you're climbing a rope. Breathe. Let it feel good. And then we're going to take this side bend even farther. Plant one arm down on your mat. The other arm that's lifted high to the sky, let it cross the midline of your body. The foundational elbow, bend it a little bit. Reach that extended arm to the side of the room. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back. Breathe. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. And I only say these cues because that's what I'm doing. You tend to clench your jaws. Just let it go. As you exhale, let the hips melt more toward the earth. Big stretch up that side of the extended arm. Feel the muscles in between your ribs. Just feel them find space. As you slowly inhale, come on back up to the midline. Reach on up. Plant the other arm down on the ground beside you, or maybe you've got a block to bring the ground up to you and you're holding on to it. A-okay, whatever works. Let that extended arm, the other arm, reach to the opposite side of the room. Let the elbow bend on the foundational arm. All right, check in with your top shoulder. Bring it back a little bit and bring your chin away from your chest a little bit more. Keep both bottom cheeks down and enjoy this big stretch on this side. Soften up in your glutes. Stretch and reach. Let it feel good. As you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly make your way back up to that extended mountain arms. Lengthen up. Exhale, bend at the waist, bend forward. Let your two hands come so the palms are coming down to the earth. And if the earth is too far away, you got blocks to bring the earth up to you. Maybe press the blocks away, maybe scoot your hands up more to the front of the room. Oh, I kind of like it on the blocks because they just slide away from you. So think of folding forward. Think of your belly button going back to touch your spine. Whew, hollow out your belly. Gaze down toward your ankles. Big stretch here. Just take a moment. Slide your blocks or your hands on back as you bring your shoulders up over your hips. Sweep your arms around behind you like a little kickstand. I'm on my fingertips. Maybe you come flat down onto your hands. You decide. Lift the chest up to the sky as your gaze goes up there too. Chin goes high to the sky. Kind of like a little baby back bend. Breathe in, breathe out. Just enjoy and appreciate the movements that you've got. All right, come on back, shoulders over your hips. Fingers, interlace them behind your low back. Interlace them behind your low back and just hinge forward a little bit. Work those interlaced fingers up your back wall. Little bend in your elbows might feel good. Or maybe you don't want to interlace your fingers at all. Just reach your extended arms, your fingers toward the back wall. Inhale, come on up to seated. Those interlaced fingers, keep them interlaced maybe. Press the fingers down toward the earth. Open up through your chest. Big breath in, big breath out. You got it. Hands to your knees, your neck. Let's work on that a little bit. Just shake your neck, turn your neck. Left, right, whatever feels good. Chin to the sky, chin to your chest. Tuck it. Move your neck. Move your neck. Lots of different ways. Think of your chin or your nose drawing a big circle to the front of your room. Turn your neck strongly to the left, strongly to the right. Gaze up toward the sky. Feel the stretch in the front of your neck. Do what feels nice. Just take the time and move your neck. And let's finish. Come back to the midline of your body. Grab your towel or your strap or nothing at all. Let's floss our shoulders. All right, take the towel or the strap in one hand, bring it on around, hug that elbow in up towards your ear. The other hand, reach it around, capture your towel or your strap, and floss your shoulders. Go up and down with the movements of the towel as if you were like flossing your teeth, but you're flossing your shoulders. Breathe. Eyes can be closed. Just enjoy this shoulder mobility here. Time to finish. Bring the towel around, switch it out. I'm going to bring it into my other hand, hugging the elbow in up toward the ear, reaching the other arm around, and floss on this side. Nice work. Finish up with the flossing. Tee out your arms. Give yourself a big hug. One arm on top of the other. Elbows cross at the midline of your body or stack. And then take your two hands, reach for your spine, soften in your shoulders, and then drive your shoulders to the side of the room. Big tight hug, big tight squeeze. Let's do it again. Arms open up. Remember which arm was on top. Bring the other arm on top. Cross the elbows, fingers toward the spine. Soften in the shoulders. Just a tight hug here. And then finish. All right, you did it. Let go of what you think it should look like. You just quit. Don't say, oh, I got to do this. I got to do more. I should do this. Stop. Just stop. Let's switch your legs out. Bring the other leg on top. It looks perfect. As long as you're not hurting and you're moving a little bit, it's absolutely perfect. All right, I've switched my legs out. So the other leg is on top. Switch your legs out so you feel it in the other hip, just a wee bit more. Hands on your knees. We're starting over again on this side. Soften in your shoulders, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keeping the eyes closed, if that feels good for you, let your arms lift up to the sky. Reach your fingers high up to the sky. Breathe. Chest is forward, gaze is forward, or eyes are just gently closed. You decide. Work one arm higher up toward the sky than the other. Like you're climbing a rope. Breathe. Nice. Let's finish up. Still your fingers, reach the arms high to the sky. Now let's do that cross body movement. Bring one arm down to be a foundational arm. Let the arm that's extended cross the midline of the body. Bend the foundational elbow a little bit. Let it feel good. Keep both bottom cheeks planted on your mat. Top shoulder back, chin away from the chest. Nice big stretch up that extended arm side. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach a little farther. As you're ready, slowly bring the extended arm back up to the sky. Let the other arm meet it as you reach high to the sky. Other arm comes on down, touches the earth or your block. Extended arm reaches good and high. Let it cross the midline of your body. Check in with the top shoulder. Check in with your chin. And then bend the elbow a little bit. Reach, stretch, enjoy this nice deep stretch in between your ribs. Breathe. Inhale, come on up slowly, back up to the center. Send your arms high up, both arms reaching, high, high, high. Or put a bend in your elbows if that feels better. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands down. Bring your palms down to the earth or to your blocks. Reach those fingertips longer to the front of the room. Oh yeah, I feel that in my left glutes. Oh, what a stretch that is. Breathe in. Hollow out the belly. Intensify the depth of the stretch. Breathe in. Oh, breathe out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Slowly slide or walk your hands back on up. Bring the arms around behind you. Let them be a kickstand and lift your chest up to the sky. Lift your chin up to the sky too. Open up through your shoulders. No rush, no hurry. Enjoy your pose, your variation. And finish. Come on back, shoulders over your hips. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe hinge forward. Work your interlaced fingers up the back wall. And remember, you don't have to interlace them. Maybe it's just your arms reaching to the back wall. Just try to interlace the fingers just for a moment and see what happens. Really a big opening up through your pectoral muscles and your shoulders. Breathe. Slowly, slowly, slowly make your way on back up to seated. Hands onto your knees. Lengthen up through your spine. Do what you want with your neck. Just move it right. Move it left. Draw little circles with your nose on the front of the room. Move your neck. You know what you need. You're your own best teacher. Truly. You know what you need, you know what feels good, you know what feels right. Stretch your neck and just take it all different ways. The left to the right, that's a good twist. Chin to the chest and lifting the chin to the sky, that's important too. Just that full range of motion, lots of movement in the neck. As you're ready, finish up moving the neck. Come back to the midline of your body, soften in your shoulders, and find your towel or your strap. And let's floss the shoulders. All right, so remember in the flossing, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your towel into one hand, bring it up, hug the elbow in, take the other hand, bring it back around, and up and down. Move the towel or the strap. Maybe you want to really pull it down, really nice and tight. Feel the nice stretch in that lifted shoulder and in the tricep of that arm. And then go back to flossing. Strong arms here. And then finish, and let's do the other side. So bring the towel into the other hand. Hug the elbow of the arm that's holding the towel in by your ear. Take the other arm, reach it around low behind your back, find your strap or your towel, pull it on down good and strong, and then floss your shoulders. Maybe hold it for a second or two. Does that feel nice? Enjoy that stretch, a couple breaths maybe. And then as you're ready, finish up in the flossing of your shoulders. How was that? Do you like that pose? I really like it. All right, big hug time. Arms tee out, arms cross, fingers reach toward the spine. Tight, tight hug. Then soften your shoulders away from your ears. Expand your shoulders to the side of the room. Breathe in, breathe out. Big hugs feel good. Tee out your arms. Cross them again across the midline of your body with the opposite arm on top this time. Fingers towards your spine. Shoulders away from the ears. And then shoulders expand to the side of your room. Just want to feel the good, tight grip in the upper body. Breathe in the upper back. Let it feel good and let it go. All right, let's come out of it. Let's go into a child's pose. We're going to take this child's pose to a tadpole and to a full frog. So come on out of your hips however you had them. They've opened up a lot, but you weren't thinking about them. All right, come on down to your child's pose. Knees can be together or spread them a little bit because we're going to go into that tadpole and frog pose. Sink your hips back towards your heels. You can use a block here to bring the ground up to you if you like. Place it under your forehead or your chest. Maybe bring your forehead down to your mat. Reach your arms long to the top of your mat. Settle in. How does it feel on your knees? You know, an option too would be to put a towel under your knees to make it work for you. Backs of your heels are touching. Reach long to the top of your mat. Bring your forearms on down to the mat. And just breathe here. Breathe out the backs of your lungs. Your knees are wide. Maybe take them a little bit wider. And you know, if it doesn't feel good to bring them off of your mat, maybe turn your body 90 degrees so you have lots of mat space to spread your knees good and wide. Think of your tailbone going to the back of your room. Your arms are extended. Maybe you got a little bend in your elbows. That might feel better. Push hard into your hands as you drive your hips back more towards your heels. Now your toes are together. Let's make some space between the toes, the two big toes, as you work your shins more parallel to the sides of your mat. Now sink your bottom more back toward the bottom of your mat. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Let the stress in your hips go. I know that's more easily said than done, but just don't worry about holding on tight here. Just where could your body go if you got your mind out of the way? Breathe in, breathe out. So this is your full frog pose. We went from a wide-legged child's pose to a tadpole, and now we're a full frog. Breathe. All right, let's press on out of this. Trust me, we're going to plenty get back into the adductor muscles, those big muscles up in the upper thighs. All right, so let's come out of this child's pose, and let's come into a toes pose ankle flow. All right, work on the foundation. All right, how do you feel in the hips? Already it's starting to feel better. All right, so toes pose ankle flow. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Have a seat back on your heels. Have your blocks by your sides so you can walk them on back. All right, so lots of ways we do this, lots of different variations, and shaking it up is good. All right, so your blocks can be by your sides. Push into your blocks and send the weight more back into your heels. Push, 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 or let go of the blocks and bring your shoulders up over your hips. Hands can be on your thighs. Breathe. Prayer center, maybe you create a little mantra. So a positive statement, a positive affirmative statement that you say over and over in your mind. I am strong, I am flexible, I'm doing it, I can do it, I accept my body as it is. Whatever a positive statement is, maybe you repeat it to yourself in this position. Nice big stretch on the toes, nice big stretch of the feet. Let's take it to an ankle flow. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat, using your blocks to bring the ground up to you. Maybe you walk the blocks on back. Keep your knees together and come on to balance on the tops of your feet. nice full range of motion. Stretch in your ankles, in your feet. Enjoy this pose. Maybe you don't use the blocks at all. Maybe you put your hands down on your mat. Maybe you lean back even farther, or maybe you bring your hands to prayer center and focus. Let's do it again. Come forward any way that works for you. What you're going for here is a nice big stretch in the toes and in the feet. Where does it feel right for you? Take it to that level. You want to feel this, but you don't want to feel pain. If it's painful, you come out of it. Any pose that's painful, come out of. Take it to the depth that feels awesome right now. I'm going to come back to my ankle pose, sitting on the tops of my feet, working my fingers back to the mat, lifting my knees up and balancing on the tops of my feet. Your pose may look really different, and that's totally fine. What you're going for is the feeling in your body. Where does it feel like you're getting a nice stretch? All right, let's finish. Bring your blocks to the side, come to a neutral tabletop. Knees under hips, shoulders over wrists. Press the tops of your feet into your mat and press your hands into your mat. Cat-cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky. Inhale, cow, crown of your head and tailbone lift. Again, you're moving your neck like we did in our little warm-up, tucking your chin to your chest, and then sending your chin like we did up toward the sky. Send it forward. Tailbone tucks under significantly on your exhale, and then inhale just the opposite, lift it up to the sky. Finish up, neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long like a cat's tail going long. Plant the ball of your foot on your mat. Press the ball of your foot into your mat. Stretch out your calf, the back of the leg. Your hips will appreciate it. Push into your hands. Push into that ball of the foot. Lift the right leg up, the extended leg. Cross it over the midline. Squeeze in the upper inner thighs. Place the ball of the foot down. Look over your left shoulder. Nice big stretch again. Through those intercostal muscles in between your ribs. Look back to your knee if you can, or your bottom. Sweep the right leg, the extended leg around. Bring it to about hip height. Plant the foot, lift your right arm up to the sky. Look up to your fingers, push the earth away. Right hand comes down. Right knee meets left, other side. Left leg extends. Push the ball of the foot into the mat. Lengthen through your spine. Breathe. Maybe this is all you do today. Maybe this is where you decide to take it. Maybe this is a great sensation that you want to continue to enjoy. Breathe. Lift the leg up. Cross the midline of the body. You're back into your hips again. Plant the ball of the foot. Look over your right shoulder. Nice big stretch up the left side. Sweep the left foot around. Plant the foot at about hip height or whatever height feels good. Push into the earth with the right hand and lift the left arm up to the sky. Breathe. Right hand comes down. Left knee meets right. Let's do bird dog. Lengthen through the spine, but let's do it a lot. And let's do it pretty quickly. All right, lift your right leg up. Knee to hip height. Right leg extends long. Dial your right hip down so your hips are equidistant to the mat. Push hard into the earth. Add in your left arm. Maybe you take a block to the top of your mat and balance your hand, left hand on the block. Maybe you reach through your fingers, thumb up, pushing the earth away. Finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. You have another side to do. Lift your left knee. Extend your left leg. Drive through the heel. Right arm reaches long to the block or to the front of the room. Stretch. Hand meets knee. Hand meets hand, knee meets knee. Other side. Do it again. Stretch and reach. Hand down, knee down. Stretch and reach on the other side. Hand down, knee down. Stretch and reach. You got the flow going on. Take a big stretch. Take a big push into those foundational limbs. Reach, stretch, lengthen through your spine. Breathe. We do this lots of different ways. Sometimes we hold it. Sometimes we bend the elbow and the knee. If that speaks to you today, go for it. I'm going to finish up in just a few more reaches. And when you're ready, let's finish up. All right, so let's come on to our backs. Let's do a reclined goddess pose. Once you're seated, hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine and come on down. Come all the way down to your back. Bend your knees. Soles of your feet touch, so you're opening up your knees to the side of the room. And your arms, cactus them out. So your elbows are at about shoulder height. Backs of your hands are on your mat. Breathe here. If this doesn't feel good, you know what you could do? You could take your blocks and you could slip them under your forearm if that feels good. Maybe that feels good. If that works for you, then it's perfect. Stay right here. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're opening up through the hips. You're opening up through the chest. Breathe. And this pose tends to speak to a lot of us. If you want to stay here, go right ahead. We're going to get into the hips a little more intensely, and we're going to balance a little bit too. We're going to come into a high lunge and a low lunge and surf it out. We've done that a lot. So think about it for a second. Do you want to stay here in your goddess pose, continuing to open up through the hips and those adductor muscles inside your thighs, or do you want to take it to a lunge? All right, if you want to join me, bring your knees together at the midline. Bring your arms down by your sides. Maybe come on up to a seated position without using your hands, or not. All right, come on. Let's do our lunge. Bring your 2 blocks by your sides, maybe at your highest height. Bring your right leg forward, knee over ankle. Now let's do the high lunge first. Tuck your back left toes under. Come on up a little bit. Maybe bring your arms on up to the sky and just hold it here. Now press into the ball of your back foot, your left foot. Your heel is lifted. The right foot is solidly planted, knee over ankle. Hold on right here. Breathe in. Soften up through the shoulders. Breathe out. You got it. You're strong. Maybe 3 cycles of breath. How does that sound? And when you're ready, plant the knee down. Hands to prayer center. Maybe it's time for your mantra. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the ball of the foot off of the mat and bring the top of the foot onto the mat. Interlace your fingers. Press your interlaced fingers into your thigh. Press the right knee forward to the ankle. Feel a nice big stretch in your hip flexors here. You warmed up a little bit when we did that pontoon pose. Now we're taking it a little more intensely, and we're going to take it even more intensely in a little bit when we do hero pose, but we got to build up to it. Breathe. And then finish. Let's surf. Hands down to the blocks. Straighten the right leg. Bring your bottom back toward your left heel. You can sit on it if you want or don't. You do what's right, what feels good. Just rebend and re-straighten that right knee. Take it to where it's right for you. Maybe you use the blocks. Totally good, because the hip's still getting all the goodness here. Or maybe you want to do a little bit balancing. Hands to prayer center and catch yourself. If you need to bring your hands down to your mat, no big deal. Come on back up. Stretch it out. Think of your inhales being really strong and lifting you up. And your exhales letting go. All right, let's all make our way back up to standing on our knees and switch out your legs. Left foot comes forward now. Blocks are nearby. Right toes get tucked under. Let your inhale, let your arms lift, and let your inhale lift you up in this lunge. Hold it here. Press into both feet. Breathe. Soften in your shoulders. Hold it here. You're strong. The only way you're going to get stronger is to keep working at it. And you can do it. Hold on. Maybe it's 1 breath. Maybe it's 3 breaths. Just hold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands to prayer center. Come on down to that back knee. You did it. Hands to prayer center. Maybe repeat your mantra. Maybe bring the top of the back foot onto the mat. Interlace your fingers. Push into that thigh of your left leg. Let the knee go forward. Enjoy the big stretch here. How does your knee feel? you can always slip a towel under your knee. You're your own best teacher. You know what you need. Take it. Time to surf. Use the blocks or not. Straighten the left leg. That's all you got to remember. Straighten the left leg. Sit back on your hips, on your heel, whatever feels good. Maybe not sitting on the hip to the heel. Breathe. Surf it out, back and forth. What feels good? That's what you're after. These are just suggestions of what might feel good for you. Maybe just a little bit of movement. Everybody's hips are tight. We all sit way too much. The only way to get better is to work on it. And that's exactly what you're doing. All right. Let's finish up in that surfing position. All right, we do something a little different. Bring your arms behind your low back. Interlace fingers, open up to the chest, and look up. Push your feet into the mat. Breathe. I know we didn't do this on the other side, but it just feels right for right now. All right, let's finish. Knees together, hands to your low back. Little baby camel. Press your elbows toward your spine. Press your hips forward, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look overhead. Think of your chest lifting up to the sky. All right, let's come into a plank pose. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Just about every day we do a 1-minute plank. We set a timer just for your situational awareness, just for you to measure your progress if you want to do that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Take the variation of plank you like. I've got a suggestion for today. All right, here's what you might want to do. This is a reverse plank. So you could lie down on your back and press your blocks up to the sky and imagine that you're in a plank. It's like flipping it 180 degrees. I'm going to take, first of all, a tabletop plank and then a reverse plank. Here's what you could do. Bend your knees. Plant your arms on your mat, fingers towards your feet. Press on up and hold it here in a tabletop. Or you could extend your legs long for a reverse plank. I'm going to do that. Let's do it. Come on into it. Timer set now. Please. There we go. Press into your hands. Press into your arms. Keep your hips nice and lifted. Legs can be long or knees can be bent with your feet underneath your knees. All right. We are how far are we into this? About 15 seconds. Nice job. Take breaks when you need them. Breathe. Maybe you're in an extended plank in a natural position. Totally fine. Maybe you're in a plank on your knees. Maybe you're in a tabletop position. Just hold it. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. I'm going to re-engage here. Try to push my belly up to the sky, pushing into my arms. My shoulders are over my wrists for stability and alignment. Legs are long. Breathe. 20 seconds to go. Arms are strong. Push into the earth. Take breaks when you need. Come down to your knees. Come down to your bottom. You decide. 10 seconds to go. Oh, breathe. You got it. 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're done. Come on down. Oh my goodness. Plank. Whatever variation you took, they are awesome. Awesome for building strength because everything is engaged. Pretty intense, right? Okay, let's come to reclined. This time, bring your blocks by your hips, hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine, and let's make our way on down to a reclined pigeon. All the way down to your back. Bend your knees. Arms down by your sides. Lift your right leg up. Cross it over the body, bringing the outside of the right ankle onto the left thigh. There's your figure 4. Hold it here and breathe. Lift your left knee up. Oh, back into your backside. How does it feel? Circle your ankle in every possible direction. Take your hands or your towel, bring them behind your knee from behind, low on the hamstring, rebend the knee if you've straightened it. Hug the left knee in, soften in your shoulders and breathe. Breathe. In our practice, whenever we take a full pigeon pose, usually on our knees, if you prefer to do it this way, this is a fine option. You feel the same sensation in your hips, but you're not getting the tension on your knees. All right, now I'm going to interlace my fingers underneath my knee, high on my shin. I'm going to hug the left knee in, and I'm going to drive the outside of the right knee toward the bottom of the mat. I'm going to draw my toes toward my shin. Then I'm going to send my entire right foot, the one on top, about 4 or 6 inches to the left side of my room. Feel the intensity grow in those glute muscles, the big muscles in your backside. Breathe. Hug it in, let it feel good. This feels great for me today. I'd like to stay here longer, but I'm going to press on. You can stay longer because you're going to listen to your body. Left foot comes down, right foot comes down to meet it. Both knees are bent. Let's do the other side. Left leg lifts, outside of the left ankle, on top of the right thigh. Push the inner left thigh open. Maybe that's where you stay. It's all good. It's all good. Do you believe that? Sometimes that's hard to believe. You want to push something. If I'm not doing it 100%, I'm not doing it well enough. That's not true. If you're doing it to 5%, that's better than nothing at all. And most your peers are doing nothing at all. You got it on them. Come on, let's keep it going. All right, lift the right knee up. Right knee lifts. Oh, that intensifies it too. Take your hands or maybe your towel, place it underneath, behind on your hamstring, right behind, right above the back of your knee. Hug the knee in, shoulders are soft. Drive the outside of the left knee, the bent one, drive it to the bottom of your mat. Hug the right knee in. Maybe you stay right here. All these different layers, you take them the way you want. Interlaced fingers now move to underneath the front of the knee on the shin. Hug it in. Draw the toes of the left foot closer to the shin. And when you're ready, slide the left foot a couple of inches to the right while hugging the knee in. Breathe. You got it. You got it. Awesome. Plant the foot. Plant the other foot. Send your hips high to a bridge pose, arms down by your sides, a little bit of a marching bridge. Lift one knee up toward the chest, then the other. So march just a little bit. And then finish. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time, tailbone down, really tuck it down last. Legs go long on your mat, a brief stick pose. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Feel the sensation again in your hip flexors. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat. A little less intense than pontoon, right? A little less intense than surfing, but all still good. Point your fingers, point your toes. Arms down by your sides. Roll onto your back. Let's do locust. All right, just a little different variation of locust today. So on your belly, bring your nose, your chin down onto your mat. Arms reach behind you. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your low back. So your thumbs are resting on your low back right now. Let it all go. Let the air go. Inhale. Peel your shoulders up, gaze down your nose, maybe lift your legs up, they're spread a little bit, and work those interlaced fingers off of your low back. Gaze down your nose, lift in your locust variation today. Breathe, hold it, you got it. Reach your fingers more to the back of the room, maybe lift your thighs a wee bit more. Hold it here, you're strong in your back. Finish. Come on down. Hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up to a seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Press on up. Camel, remember that? Bring your knees underneath your hips. Hands behind your low back. Elbows squeeze to the back of the room. Hips go forward. You did pontoon. You've got flexibility in the front of your hip flexors. Look up, up, up to the sky. Maybe look back a little further. And then finish. Come have a seat on your heels. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, let's do a reclined tree now. And then we're going to get into hero's pose. That's the most intense peak pose of our practice today. So come down to your bottom. Take your 2 blocks down to the bottom of your mat. I'm going to get a drink of water. I hope you're drinking whenever you feel you need it. All right, I'm going to put I'm gonna start on my left foot. I'm gonna put my left heel, left calf, whatever feels good on that block. Bend my right knee, hug the right knee in towards my chest. Then I'm gonna cross this right leg over, placing the outside of my ankle onto my thigh. Don't put it on the knee, that doesn't feel good. Maybe you don't get it so high. Maybe you place the outside of the right ankle onto the shin of the extended left leg. Let the knee of the bent leg kind of fall toward the earth. Let the toes of the left foot work up towards your shin. You can have your hands at prayer center or cactus out your arms again. Lots of different types of trees. Cactus is a tree, right? Is a cactus a tree? Let your backs of your hands rest on your mat. And that right knee, then bent knee, let it float toward the earth. Breathe. Here's your reclined tree pose. Maybe keep your arms just the way they are. Now extend your right leg and place it on the block. I don't know if your ankle feels better or up on the calf. I think I like it better up on the calf. And then bend your left leg, hug it in. Maybe bring the outside of the left ankle on top of the right thigh or down on the shin, wherever feels good. Go back to cactusing your arms if you like that. And let the left knee, the outside of it, fall toward the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe this feels great. Maybe you decide, I'm gonna stay here for a while and go back to each leg. Give each leg, about the same amount of time. And then let's finish. Left knee bends, hug it in, and then let it go long on your mat. Kick the little blocks aside, or the big blocks aside. Lift your arms on up to the sky. Lift on up. Take a nice Pilates lift. And take a forward fold. Reach your fingers toward the earth. Draw your toes up towards your shins. Reach to the front of the room. Take a restorative forward fold. Capture your ankles. Capture your calves. Hug your elbows in. Let your gaze go down towards your knees. Maybe close your eyes and imagine that your nose is touching your knees. Why not? Imagine it. That's how it begins, right? Finish up. Shoulders over your hips. Let's go into our hero's pose. All right, so here's the deal. Bring your 2 blocks and come to standing on your knees. Now, spread your knees a little bit. You can place a block or 2 blocks, stack them up, and have a seat. Have a seat on the blocks. So your ankles are by those blocks. Your knees are spread a little bit because you're seated on the blocks. Stay right here. Nobody's judging you. All right, if you want, remove 1 block to bring your bottom down a little bit more, bigger stretch in your knees. What is right for you today? This is an intense pose, very intense pose. So don't feel badly if you can't do it, and just take it in layers, because you know what? You are doing it right now, whether you're sitting on 2 blocks or 1 block. You're rocking it. All right, I'm going to remove the blocks, but don't let them go far. Maybe bring them behind you by your sides, by your outside of your hips. I'm going to spread my knees a little bit more apart, spreading my heels a little more apart. I'm going to sit on my mat. I'm going to bring my knees back together so my shins are parallel to each other and parallel to my thighs. I'm going to bring the blocks behind me and put my hands on them. Oh, breathe here. How does this feel? Breathe in, breathe out. Big stretch in the quadriceps. All right, so maybe bring your forearms down to those blocks and hang out here. Nothing wrong with this. Stay right here. If you have those half blocks, you want to take it a little bit farther, you could put those underneath your elbows. If you don't have the blocks at all, use your hands. Maybe a little bend in the elbows. Remember how we did that when we were seated earlier working on our Sukhasana? We put a bend in the elbows. Use your elbows. Take them a little lower. Maybe take them even farther and come down to your forearms. Here, this is kind of nice because you can grab your feet and you can give yourself a foot massage after the intensity of that toes pose we did a little while ago. Maybe bring your shoulders all the way down to your mat. Keep your knees down, keep your hips down, breathe. Maybe arms can cactus out. We've done this a couple times today. Or maybe your arms reach overhead and you reach for opposite elbows like you do in a ragdoll pose. We do ragdoll pose on other days, so join us for different poses, different days, different intensities of practice, but they all work together to make you stronger. Take a deep breath in and more flexible. Take a deep breath out and more mobile, not only on your mat, but off of your mat. That's where you measure the success of your yoga, how well you move and live off of your mat. Massive intense stretch in your quadriceps here. How are you doing in whatever variation you're in? Let's come out of it slowly. Peel back the layers the way you came in. Maybe bring your arms down by your sides. Slowly press back up to your elbows, your forearms, your hands, whatever works. Come on out of the pose by coming into a seated position. Bring your eye shade and your little towel up by your shoulders. And let's fully recline. Legs are long, hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine because you are in control. Slowly roll on back to fully recline. Take a brief pentacle pose. Arms go high overhead or bend your elbows or snow angel it, whatever feels good. Spread your legs wide. Maybe all four limbs are going to all four corners of your room. Take a deep breath in. This is your reset. Take a deep breath out. Legs back to the midline. Bend your right knee. Hug your right knee in. Left calf stays down. Help it out by drawing your left toes towards your shin. Circle your ankle in both directions. Hug the knee in even tighter. You've got strong arms. You did a plank. You're strong. Take your left hand, guide your right knee across the midline of your body. Right arm tees out. It helps you keep your right shoulder down. And you can turn your neck a lot because we worked on that. Turn your gaze to your right arm. Breathe. Bring your right hip back to the earth. Bring both hands underneath the knee. Circle your ankle this way and that. Extend your right leg long. Heel on the mat. Toes towards your shin. Right leg is super long. Feel the nice comfortable stretch in your right hip flexor. Drag your left heel up. Interlaced fingers or your towel. Capture underneath your knee. Shoulders are relaxed. Circle your ankle this way and that. Right hand guides the left knee. Cross your belly. Working that left knee to the right side of your body. Hand encourages it down. You don't have to get down to the earth. Left arm tees out. Look to the left. What you want to feel here is a nice big twist. You're strengthening your back. Your hips are loving you. Life is good. Bring your gaze back to the midline, up toward the sky. Hug your left knee in and circle the ankle this way and that. Okay, left leg goes long to meet the right on your mat. Now drag both heels up, good and slow. Tight, strong core. Draw the knees up toward the chest. Happy baby. Left hand hugs left knee in. Right hand hug right knee in to the armpit. Rock from side to side. Perhaps come to stillness and reach inside the calves and rock from side to side. Remember that full frog pose where we drove the knees out to the sides? Think of the same thing here, but you're on your back. Maybe you reach for your heels. Draw your toes towards your shins. Send one leg straight up to the sky. Hold it there. Then rebend it, holding onto the heel. Send the other leg high up to the sky. Rebend it and alternate. One leg goes up, the other leg bends. Have fun with it. If you can't quite reach your heels, like I said, grab your calves. Can't quite reach your calves? That's okay. Hold on to your hips, tee out your arms. Just move the legs. And then when you're ready, finish. Legs are extended, ankles together. Slowly lower your extended legs down. You know, I don't know how slow you go. Maybe today it's not so slow, but keep at it. And over time, you'll do it. All right, legs go long. Final Shavasana time. Spread your legs a little bit. Cover your eyes with your towel or your eye shade. Arms down by your sides. Palms face up. Breathe. Deep breaths in and out. Soften the area between your eyebrows and let it go. Think of space between your jaws. Take a deep breath in. And a deep shoulder softening breath out. Let all the tension in your body go. When you do that, maybe you let the tension in your mind go too. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here longer in your final Shavasana if you like. It's all your choice. If you have your remote control nearby, hit pause and just breathe and just be. If it's time for you to conclude your hour, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles, whatever way feels good. Inhale, reach high overhead, take a big good morning stretch, and then climb it. Reach one arm higher than the other arm higher than the other. Stretch it out. Finish up. Bend your elbows and your knees and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Bend your low arm. Use that bicep as a pillow for your head. Ooh, that arm is nice and bent. That's the way you had it bent when you did your flossing of your shoulders. Soften in the top shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Savor this breath. Maybe keeping your eyes closed, this challenges your balance. Maybe roll on up, with or without your hands. You decide how you are going to do it. Bend your knees if that feels comfortable. Maybe it feels more comfortable now because of all the bending of the knees we did in our Sukhasana pose, the Hero's pose, Thunderbolt pose, all work the knees. Bring your shoulders over your hips, hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine. Your mantra, hands are together, come back to it. What was it? I am strong, I am able, I am capable, I accept how I am because I am perfect just the way I am. Whatever it is, let it be positive. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Blink your eyes open. Congratulations. You did it. 1 hour. 1 hour goes by fast. You just got to commit, right? And that is so important. And what did you commit to? You committed to yourself. You committed time to you, to self-improvement. And that is so important. All right. So you took a stress number in the beginning. What was it? And what is it? How do you feel? Shoulders, hips. Go for a good long walk. Your dog will appreciate it. But your hips are more mobile. Your body just feels better. And you feel better in your head too. Remember that. Keep that feeling with you as you do your life off of your mat today. All right. Patience doesn't mean to passively endure. It means to be farsighted enough to trust the end result of the process. And your yoga is part of the process. All right, guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. May they be yours today. Love you. Bye. See you tomorrow. And I'll see you right now. You want some attention, huh? Good girl. Bye, everybody. As we wind up this month, the end of May, and we come into June, remember that you are your own best teacher. And you know what? A new month is coming. Set some new learning objectives. Why not? Maybe you really want to master your crow this month. Whatever it is, plan on something. You got to look forward to something. You got to look forward to doing your yoga and making it work for you. You know what? It's the end of May, but there's still snow on the ground in Colorado. It's a crazy place, but that's okay. We're always going to do what's best for us because we're our own best teachers, and we're going to wear our flannels if we have to. All right, so enough talk. You know your yoga's working for you. Tell your friends about us. Tell your friends about our yoga. Tell them what it's doing for you. Check out our website. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody, but if you want to check out our website and support the broadcast, look us up. It's www.316yoga.com. See you on your mats tomorrow with or without your flannels, with the snow, without the snow. Whatever. Make it work for you. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow.